Good evening and welcome to Psych 201 PowerPoint presentation. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Regina Foster and I am an undergraduate student of psychology at St. Leo's University. And as such, I often wonder why things work the way that they work. So I set out to formulate a theory, and from that theory I formulate a hypothesis, and then I check and see what research shows that may support my hypothesis. Tonight I'm going to discuss with you the link between childhood sexual abuse and criminal behavior later on in life. There are many theories that try to explain this behavior. One of the theories was formulated in 1997 by Bloom, and this is the one I'm going to be talking to you all about. According to Bloom, anyone who is in a situation where they perceive that they are in great fear or danger will go into this fight or flight response. Her theory is the trauma theory that states when one is in a situation that creates fear or they feel they are in danger, the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system kicks in and the fight or flight response takes over. As this fight or flight response kicks in, adrenaline and other chemicals are released into the body, and physical things begin to happen. Your heart rate may go up, you may get clammy and sweaty, your muscles will tighten, you're going to be ready to fight or to flee. When children are in situations of violence over a long period of time, this fight or flight response becomes habituated. They sense danger in almost anything that happens to them during the day. For example, if you put your child to bed and then several hours later the child hears the door down at the end of the hallway open, and this is the room they know that their perpetrator sleeps in, they automatically jump into this response. Or perhaps the mother is getting ready to go out for the evening with friends or to play cards or whatever. The child will actually go into this response automatically. Now, when they live in this type of situation over a long period of time with sexual abuse and physical abuse on a regular basis, they get habituated to this fight or flight response, and they tend to get in more trouble at school. They may start using alcohol and other drugs to self-medicate, to deaden the pain so that they don't feel the pain all the time. They may have poor relationships. They have low impulse control. And as time goes by, they get into relationships where there's a lot of domestic violence, and they become quite violent themselves, and at some point may get arrested. Research shows that female victims of childhood sexual abuse are more likely than men to have a greater number of abusers. They tend to get abused at an earlier age. There doesn't seem to be any real boundaries or limitations on sexual behavior within the home. And when they are arrested and they enter the criminal justice system, they tend to do so with more violence. But look at the environment they're going into. They're in an environment that is mostly dominated by men who pat them down and order them around, tell them to go into their cells, and they have a higher rate of being sexually abused by the officers and guards in the criminal justice system. These women tend to be more manipulative. They're very demanding. They're emotional. They're at a higher risk for suicide and at a higher risk for self-mutilating behaviors. They will cut. Sometimes they burn themselves. Sometimes they pull their hair out. They pluck their eyebrows out. They may pick at their skin till it forms sores. Most of these women meet the criteria for PTSD or for RAD. They have heightened levels of stress, which causes more physical, emotional, and mental disorders. Most of the children, the female children who are sexually abused as children and enter the criminal justice system, have IQs of less than 70 when the abuse starts. So what needs to be done now is that we as professionals need to be able to recognize the behaviors that are associated with childhood sexual abuse so that we can help these women facilitate change. They need to know that what happened was not their fault. Many of them have feelings of great shame and guilt, believing that had I been taller or prettier or more athletic or able to sing, that what happened to me would not have happened to me. They need to know that this was not their fault, and we need to be able to help them to facilitate change. And this is my presentation. Has anyone got any questions? I want to thank you for being here tonight, and I enjoyed presenting for you. Thank you.